I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix, everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Inhumans vs X-Men issue number 1. Will cooler heads prevail and war be averted? Well, it's the first issue of a big crossover event, so no, none of that's gonna happen. Let's hop on in then. Okay then, so as we join the comic, Beast is holding a meeting with all the major mutant leaders. It's here he's forced to come clean to the rest of his team about the lack of success he's had in researching a cure for the Terrigen Mist poisoning that's threatening mutant kind. Basically, he's forced to drop the major bomb that, well, there is going to be no cure. They're completely screwed, and to make matters worse, that big Terrigen cloud that's still out there, yeah, it's going to disperse over the entire globe, in doing so making the entire planet Earth completely and utterly uninhabitable by mutant kind very soon. As you might have guessed, people like Magneto don't take too kindly at the idea of his people being gassed to death for a second time in a second major genocide. Beast says their course of action should be simple, and that should be a full-on exodus of mutants from the planet Earth. I mean, hey, this is the Marvel Universe. There's lots of nice planets out there in the cosmos they could live while they work on a better plan. And doing so would mean they wouldn't have to go to war with the Inhumans, even though everyone else, even the normally cool-headed leaders like Storm and Old Man Logan, are beginning to think, you know what, maybe we should just destroy the Terrigen cloud and get it over with, even though the Inhumans like Medusa and Black Bolt see the cloud as something completely holy and tied to the furtherment of their race. If their options are either die or leave the planet just so a couple more people out there will get Inhuman powers, then this is end up going to be a risk they're going to have to take. Beast, after having spent so much time with the Inhuman royal family, really coming to like them and respect them, wants no part of any violence against them, but the X-Men can't let him go warn the royal family now, can they? So Storm ends up shooting him in the back. Jesus Christ, Aurora, that is cold-blooded. Now, it's at this point Emma Frost, who for all intents and purposes is the actual villain of this story, the real pot stirrer and the one who's been lying about the death of Cyclops, she lets loose that she's been working on a plan to take out the Inhumans this whole 8 months that Beast has been working on a cure, and that is to take out the royal family's power structure so all the other new younger Inhumans will be running around without a leader. She sends the young Jean Grey to deal with Karnak, trapping him in a psychic loop over and over again so he'll be unable to help out the other Inhumans once the fighting starts. Even though you figure the guy whose power is he can find the weakness in anything should be able to find the weakness in this psychic projection, but hey, whatever. Magneto ends up impersonating a refugee so he can get aboard Crystal's big Inhuman flagship and destroy it from the inside out using his metal powers, even though you would figure the Inhumans by now should know what Magneto looks like, especially after the events of Civil War II, when he already basically tried to kickstart a war between mutant kind and Inhuman kind only to back down. But hey, I'm not paying attention, I'm not keeping track. They dog-nap Lockjaw right out from under Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. Yeah, that's right, even dogs aren't safe from the mutants' wrath this time around. But by far the most interesting takedown is actually Black Bolt inside his own bar, the Quiet Room. You see, Emma Frost goes there under the guise that she's willing to negotiate, only she has an ace up her sleeve, and that ace turns out to be frickin' Dazzler. Yeah, Disco Dazzler ends up taking out Black Bolt, but actually this one makes total sense because her power is she can turn sound into light and vice versa, so when Black Bolt lets loose on her with his destructive voice, she just absorbs it and turns it back on him in light. Wow, Dazzler beat Black Bolt. Wrap your minds around that for a second. And yeah, this is pretty much where the comic begins to wind down. The Inhuman royal family have lost some of their heaviest hitters, and now an army of very angry mutants are making their way to the Inhuman city. IVX issue number 1, and yes, for some reason they want us to run with that shorthand, was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Oh, sure, it carries with it a lot of, the negative sides that come with big crossover events like this, especially ones where heroes fight heroes. But I gotta take my hat off to Charles Soule on this one. He really does seem to have buckled down, done the homework, and really tried to find a way to make this whole thing work in a satisfying manner. Of course, the hard character work kind of gets undone a little bit by the fact that if you've been reading the X-Men solicitations, you know what the next couple of years hold for these characters, and it doesn't mean leaving Earth. Also, while I can appreciate that both sides in this war debate actually have some pretty good arguments working for them, that at the end of the day, Emma Frost Frost, who has always kind of been a bad guy, is ultimately still the bad guy here. Overall, I'd actually end up giving this one a 7 out of 10, which is a lot more than I thought I'd give it.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.